So there's somewhere that you'd rather not be, but part of you feels like you'd still kind of like to be there. Or do you? Well, it'd be kind of nice to not have to deal with the responsibility of the situation. So it would be kind of nice to just move on from it altogether. So let's just move on from it altogether. Yeah, but that doesn't feel right to me either. I don't really know if I can live with the situation of moving away from the thing, person, whatever it might be, that I'm trying to move away from. And equally, there are some things that I really like about that situation. But then there's that other side that I really don't like. How to make this decision and how to cope with it. Somewhere in your life, you're likely coping with a situation that's very similar to this. Chances are, the way things are moving, you're likely going to find yourself in a scenario where you're getting to a certain degree, have your cake and eat it too. Cake. I'll see you later. No, I'm only kidding. You get to have your cake and eat it too. You'll get your independence from the situation to a rather large degree, to the level that it makes you feel satisfied. And one part of you will likely still be connected to the situation, yet distant enough so that you're not having to cope with all the you know what, right? Now that can really work for all parties involved. That's a win-win situation. And as we're approaching this full moon in Shatabhishak Nakshatra, which takes place on the 26th of August, you're likely finding yourself in just such a confusing mess, right? But don't worry, it's going to head in the right direction. Maybe not immediately, maybe not in the next couple of weeks. It may be like a good, 6 months or so before you really begin to feel that things are moving in the direction that you would like to see them move in, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Depends on each person individually. But the progress is definitely taking place. The shift is definitely happening. And that's happening right now. It's just that the difficult bit that you're dealing with is trying to understand what to completely let go of and what to hang on to, what to get rid of, and what it is that you're trying to create. And so even though it may feel frustrating to you that nothing is shifting in this situation, and even though it may feel frustrating to you that it's difficult to really fully come to a decision about what it is that you want, at least at the moment, that's a good thing, because it's really causing you to take a good, clear look at the situation. Along the way, you're likely finding these minor little dramas erupting. And when these dramas erupt, you do your best to deal with the situation. You do your best to create the change, whatever change it is that's necessary for that particular drama. But you kind of find yourself banging your head against a brick wall. But when that happens and you notice that the progress is not really going anywhere despite all your best efforts, something pops to the surface. That something that pops to the surface is eye-opening. And initially, it may cause you to feel a little bit more uneasy about the situation, but it does make it clearer to you about how to cope with it. The problem is you've been trying to tackle a very big situation all in one go. I'm going to solve this situation all in one go. But what you're needing to do, because as this particular full moon happens, we've got Saturn in Mula Nakshatra forming an aspect to the full moon. We also have Mars and Mercury forming an aspect to each other, and Jupiter in Vishaka Nakshatra forming an aspect to the moon. Mars and Mercury, by the way, are in Shravana and Ashlesha, respectively. And so this is all needing to be kind of broken up into bite-sized pieces so that you can really digest it, so that you can get a clearer understanding of the actual steps that need to be taken, so that you're not just kind of fumbling around in the dark trying any specific solution that you might be able to come up with in your mind in order to make the situation shift. Instead, you need the right solution. That's why when you push against the resistance and it doesn't go anywhere, that's why it's not going anywhere, right? Because you're trying to tackle it from the space of, here, we'll adopt a phrase, you're trying to attack it bigly instead of smallly, right? In other words, you're trying too hard. You're applying too much force when really what you're needing to do is to take a closer, deeper look at the situation. Understand that the way that perhaps you've been perceiving this situation is not the way that particular situation was in the first place. Sure, it felt like that, and that's real enough, and that's real enough for you to feel the feelings that you felt. But if you take a look at that situation from a different angle, you might just find you have different feelings. Oh no, I don't need that. I can't even say need. I don't need that. That's just going to make it more confusing. Well, actually, you do need that, because it's not going to make it more confusing. It's going to help you to figure out what it is that you're actually devoted to, what you can no longer stand, what it is that you need to do to set up your life in a manner that those things and people, even places that you're devoted to, you're able to channel your devotion to those in a good way, right? And you're able to shift away from those things that rob you of your precious time, that rob you of your precious attention, and which really just becomes somewhat of an energy drain. You, yes, you, don't feel guilty about it. I'm not pointing you out going, you, even though I am pointing you out, you have been somewhat responsible for the energy drain. And you're likely going to find that out over the coming weeks. And that's okay, right? Don't, create a rod for your own back or anything like that. Don't give yourself such a hard time. But look at it. Own the responsibility. Don't resign yourself to dealing with something that's difficult to kind of resign yourself to. Instead, dedicate yourself to the mission at hand. Be patient with the process as it's evolving. Be clear and responsible to your own actions, to your own thoughts, to your own feelings. Own your responsibility to the situation. You'll be amazed at how quickly things begin to shift. If you could use a little bit of help with this difficult process, I should mention that I offer several different levels of astrological service, all of which are available through the Astrological Services page of my website. If you're interested in scheduling with me, please follow the link above in the video. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon in Shatabhishak Nakshatra for the 26th of August, 2018. Until next time, rock on. Bye now.